This is my first time going on a solo art date on September 13th, thanks to The Artist's Way, the book I'm currently following. It's a book full of exercises that help unlock one's creativity. The location for the art date was inspired by the cover page of my notebook, the one that I use for writing morning pages. So I took a cable car, visited the statue of 𝐼𝐥𝐻, the mother of Georgians, and enjoyed the sights of the old part of my city, Tbilisi. Autumn has arrived, yet everything is still wrapped in shades of green. And these are the sketches I made on the art date. My first attempt at following the artist's way was a failure because I got food poisoning. I wrote morning pages for 4 days but wasn't able to complete any other activities. So I started over and began forming daily habits like drawing every day. I didn't really like how I made the habit tracking chart for the first week. Some habits were too vague and as a result difficult to track. Because of that, I decided to change the chart for the week 2, which I'll show you later. Along with sharing my experience from the first week of the artist's way, I'll be painting one of my memories from summer vacation using gouache. The reference for this painting is my photo taken during the trip to the sea this year. I read the first chapter of the book to prepare for week 1, although I didn't do all the activities the book suggested, mostly because not all of them resonated with me. For example, one of the exercises was to write down some positive affirmations several times in a notebook to change negative beliefs about myself. But I have already worked on these factors in my life and have gotten acquainted with my inner critique quite well. Even though it still has some influence over me, since I am conscious about it and know the origin of it, I can resist it successfully. Week 1 was all about nurturing my inner child, inner creative artist who just wants to explore, to try things, have fun, and feel supported. To be honest, it's been years since almost all my free time has been devoted to things my inner child approves of and enjoys alongside me. So most of the suggested exercises in the book were not difficult to do, including the art date, but the art date was a little bit tricky since it required going outside. As an introverted person, my comfort place is home, obviously. I don't love going out much, so even though it was enjoyable, it still involved leaving my comfort zone, which was a little bit uncomfortable, but ultimately a positive and beneficial experience for my creativity. During week 1, I also wrote a letter to myself, which I'll read after completing the book in 12 weeks. In the letter, I acted as my own best friend, offering love and support. I encouraged myself, reminded myself of what I can achieve if I keep believing in myself, and wished myself all the good things. I hope I'll be reading this letter in the future with a smile and the process won't feel too cringy. As for forming habits, I'm grateful that I created a chart where I mark checkboxes for all the small goals I meet at the end of each day. I noticed that sometimes the urge to put a check mark in a tracker is an effective motivator to take action. I've definitely been doing more since I started tracking my habits. No, I still have not formed the habit of drawing every single day, although there's significant progress. Now I only skip a day or a couple of days and then get back to drawing and filling the pages of my sketchbook. It's almost filled, so the next video will certainly be a sketchbook tour. Now let's talk about the morning pages, which I need to do every day, although I sometimes skip them. The idea is to write 3 pages of whatever comes to mind each morning. At first I thought it would be hard for me to fill 3 pages a day, but to my surprise it wasn't that hard. I enjoyed writing every morning. A few days later, I realized that it was impossible for me to always find time to write, so I tried writing in the evening, as I had more to reflect on and write about. However, since the exercise is called morning pages, I felt a bit guilty. So when I'm able, I try to write in the morning. The book assures you that there's no right or wrong way to do morning pages. Soon I noticed that my writing naturally took a specific form, which is the following. I usually write about what my daily plans are and how I want to follow them for the optimal daily results. I also complain a lot about the noise that surrounds me daily because of my loud neighborhood, and it won't be a surprise if I say that I repeatedly write about this problem almost every time, I would say. I discuss possible solutions, ask questions about the issues I'm facing, no matter how tiny they are. I write about my anger, about certain things, which helps me release the tension, and so on. So far, I think this exercise is an effective helping tool in many different ways. Even though I've never tried psychotherapy, my perception, the idea I have about therapy, is similar to how I feel about the morning pages. I use a pencil for writing because it's softer and doesn't tire my hand too much, but it might not be the only reason why I chose a pencil over a pen. It might also be a subconscious decision, as if some part of me prefers to stay cautious and leaves a way to erase the pages, just in case. It might not be true because I don't want to erase anything. I think the pages will be at least interesting to read years from now. One more thing I noticed is that every random thought, worry, or fear I write down seems less intimidating and daunting, which helps me feel lighter after the writing session. That's one of the reasons I prefer to do it in the morning and be more productive during the day after a little brain dump. I don't know about additional exercises, but I enjoy morning pages and art dates a lot. I'm sure I'll keep doing these two activities even after I finish the 12-week journey. There's still a long way ahead, and I can't wait to see how much change this path brings me. I admit that I skipped several suggested activities, but I promise to do and share some of them in the upcoming videos along with my new secret hobby, which won't be a secret once I tell about it, but until then it stays a secret. Here's the tracking list of the week 2, and yes, it still needs improvements.